He put in a request, and finally the three were moved to cell number 4. Another Indian pilot, Vidyadhar Shankar Chatty, was already there. Chatty didn't want to join the escape but agreed to help, a decision that would prove crucial. The real challenge: digging a tunnel through an 18-inch thick wall with no tools. But luck was with them. They somehow stole scissors and a screwdriver. Every night, 12 to 1 a.m., work began under the bed. One man chipped away while the other three kept watch. The debris was hidden under the bed. They blew the cell's bulb fuse so the guard couldn't see properly. Replacing bulbs in jail took time, and they used that to their advantage. One night, danger came close. A guard peered in and thought he saw only 3 pilots, but Harish Singh was under the bed. The guard called out. They pretended to be asleep. The guard ran to fetch Usman Hamid. In that instant, Singh silently crawled out and lay down. When Hamid arrived and saw all 4, he scolded the guard. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. They loosened bricks and cement, then placed bricks back so everything looked normal from the outside. They also prepared for after the escape. Each prisoner got 57 Indian rupees per month. With that money, they bought dry fruits, condensed milk, and essentials. They knew life outside would be even harder. For direction, they needed a compass, so they made a makeshift one using a cassette player's magnet and a sewing needle. Using money, they had the jail tailors stitch Pakistani suits for all 3 from clothes Parolkar received from home, so they could blend in outside. Slowly, the hole in the wall grew large enough for a man to squeeze through. The final layer, just plaster, was deliberately left so it could be broken easily on escape night. August 13, 1972. Dark clouds hung over the Rawalpindi POW camp. Strong winds blew, and soon a torrential rain began. This was the night Parolkar, Gruel, and Harish Singh had waited months for. They wore their Pakistani suits, packed dry fruits, condensed milk, the makeshift compass, and some cash. Before leaving, they hugged their comrade Chatty. Then Parolkar gently broke the final layer of plaster. The rain muffled any sound. One by one, they slipped through the narrow hole. Outside, they saw a Pakistani guard sleeping on a cot right by the wall. They ran toward the wall, tied clothes together to make a rope, flung it over, and hooked it past the barbed wire. Parolkar first, then Gruel, finally Harish Singh. They climbed over and dropped to the other side. They were out of jail. But the real battle was just beginning. The 3 raced to the bus stand. Luck was with them, they found a bus to Peshawar. After traveling all night, they reached Peshawar around 6 a.m. The biggest danger now was identification. If asked to recite the Kalma or undergo a medical check, they'd be caught. So they decided to pretend to be Christians. From Peshawar, they took another local bus, reaching Landi Kotal around 9:30 a.m. Meanwhile, back in Rawalpindi, by 11 a.m., panic had erupted. The guards discovered the 3 pilots missing. When they entered the cell and saw the huge hole in the wall, they were stunned. No one could believe that despite such tight security, the impossible had happened. The guards, furious and terrified of punishment from senior officers, considered killing Chatty, who had helped the 3, and then claiming he was escaping too. But senior officers quickly learned exactly how many prisoners had escaped, so the guards didn't dare. Far from the jail, the 3 pilots now faced their next challenge, crossing the Torkham border into Afghanistan, just 5 kilometers away. Short distance, but they had no idea how to get there. Their atlas showed a place near Torkham called Landi Kotal railway station, but the map was old. That station had closed way back in 1932. They reached a tea stall and asked the man how to get to Landi Kotal. People started staring. A man stepped forward, demanding, "Who are you? Where from? Where going?" Parolkar answered, "We're Pakistan Air Force officers on holiday." Unfortunately, the man was a Tahsildar's clerk. Suspicious, he said no such place exists. The crowd grew. The man taunted, "You're Bengalis, aren't you? Fleeing to Afghanistan?" Gruel laughed it off, but suspicion deepened. They were taken to the Tahsildar. Again, they claimed to be PAF officers. The Tahsildar didn't believe them. Playing their last card, Parolkar said, "We've shed blood for our homeland. If you don't trust us, call Usman Hamid from the Pakistan Air Force." Parolkar thought this would save them, but it was their biggest mistake. The Tahsildar immediately called Hamid and put Parolkar on the line. Hamid instantly realized these were the escaped Indian pilots. He told the Tahsildar, "They're our people. Keep them safe until our soldiers arrive." A few hours later, Pakistani troops came and took them back to Rawalpindi. They were given 30 days of solitary confinement. After that, all Indian pilots were moved from Rawalpindi to a jail in Faisalabad, where over 500 Indian POWs were held. Meanwhile, exchange negotiations intensified. Finally, in December 1972, Pakistan's President Zulfikar Ali Bhutto announced the release of all Indian POWs. When these soldiers returned to India via the Wagah border, thousands of people had gathered with tricolors, chants echoing, tears and pride on the soldiers' faces. This story wasn't just about escaping a prison. It was about courage. It was about that spirit that knows how to remain free even behind bars. And those walls of Rawalpindi probably still remember that 3 Indian pilots once slipped past them. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel. We bring stories like this every week. Jai Hind.